Hey everybody, this is Tana from Proverbial Homemaker, and today I have a fun little Facebook Live video for you where I'm going to tell you all about Innovator's Tribe. So Innovator's Tribe is an online program for homeschoolers that you can take advantage of, where you can take courses on innovation and technology with your kids. So I brought my son along, Jaron, and he's going to give you guys a little bit of an insight a little later on about how he's been learning with Innovators Tribe and what he's been excited about and his experience. And then I'm going to share my screen and show you inside the courses of Innovators Tribe, just give you a peek on how it looks. So before we get too far, I want to let you know about a cool deal that Innovators Tribe has going on right now that's a really good deal. So all through August, you can get 40% off any course. And when you get a 40% off the course, you can get 3-year access and support, and usually it's just one. You can get full access for any other siblings in the household, which is a really awesome deal, especially for us large family moms, right? And you can get a bonus mini course called Thinking Like an Innovator, which is regularly $40. So those are the bonuses that you can get through the month of August when you get any Innovators Tribe course and you get it for 40% off. Okay, so just get that out of the way, and I'll leave all of this information for you in the comments, okay? So you don't need to write it down or know it off the top of your head. So Innovators Tribe is for grades 5 through 9. My son is an upcoming 5th grader, so he is just getting into that age range, but it is a really good time for him to start learning about innovation and technology. You know, my husband and I, every year we spend some time talking about what we want for our homeschool and what our vision is. And I ask my husband every year, what do you want more of in our homeschool? What would you like to see more of? And this year, his main comment was that he would like to see more experiences, especially experiences that really pique the different interests of our kids and help them explore different areas. And so pretty much right after he said that that's what he would like to see more of, I learned about Innovators Tribe. So I was super excited to be able to try it and see how it went and give you guys a little bit of insight on our experience with it. So right now, there are 3 courses available for Innovators Tribe. There's Thinking Like an Engineer, and that's the one that we're going through right now. There's Thinking Like an Architect, and then they just released a new one called Robotics and Automations. And like I said, if you take advantage of the August deal that's happening right now, not only do you get all of those for 40% off, but you also get the bonus course called Thinking Like an Innovator, which is regularly $40. So that's a pretty cool deal. So all of the Innovators Tribe courses are self-paced. They have some video elements to it and some printable elements to it. The kids can do them really on their own when they're older. For my kids, for my oldest here, who's, like I said, going into the 5th grade, I tend to go through it with him a little bit. Like I'll go ahead with him and see what the challenge is about and what the lesson is about. And this will be more clear once you get a peek into it when I screen share with you. But I kind of go ahead through the unit that he's going to be working on and see, okay, what are the materials we need? What are the things that I want to print off for him to be able to work on while he's going through the unit? And then for the most part, he does the videos himself. He learns and does the reading himself. And then he gets started with the challenges, and I just help as needed. So what was really cool about this is we've only been doing this for a couple weeks. So we're really only getting close to finishing up Unit 1 right now in the Thinking Like an Engineer course. But what was really awesome about it was that he was so enthusiastic and excited about it that our whole family ended up joining in, especially my husband, who has an engineer mind. He came and he was so interested in what Jaron was learning and the different challenges he was doing that he jumped in.
Did you say that again?
Oh, Siri. Siri really likes to talk to me when I'm on Facebook Live for some reason. So my husband started getting really involved and really enjoyed the challenges as well. And there were times, when they spent the whole day just, redoing the challenges, trying to one-up themselves. So it was definitely a learning experience and a family fun experience. So we've been really enjoying it, and I recommend it. Okay, so anyway, they are all online, self-paced. They're each about 30 hours long. They're interactive, so they're not just sitting and watching videos and reading. They actually have to interact with the screen and with the lesson as they go, which is really important to me because I don't want them just to consume. I want them to interact with it. It helps them learn better. There are activity guides you can download and worksheets, and I'll show you some examples of those in a little bit. It includes a 3D software and a 1-year online support. And like I said, with the deal during August, you get 3 years online support instead of 1. All right, so my son here, his name is Jaron, and I just wanted to have him share with you guys what he learned and his experience and what he likes about Innovators Tribe. So hi, Jaron.
Hello.
So Jaron, which course are you taking right now?
I'm taking the engineer one.
The Thinking Like an Engineer?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what your experience has been so far.
Well, it's really interesting. I like the challenges the most because, you get to learn from them.
So tell us about one of the challenges.
Well, one of them was a build your own tower challenge. You had to build it at least 5 feet tall, with 4 pieces of paper and then 1 foot of tape. And yeah.
How did that go?
It took me a little while and I got really frustrated, but I did it.
Yeah, so he learned a lot about perseverance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like when you finally figured out how to make it work?
Well, it was really, it felt great to know that how it would work. And yeah.
So what was the principle or the takeaway? What was the learning idea that you came away with when it came to how to build the tower so it would stand up straight?
Well, you want to have like a big base at the bottom.
Why?
So then it will stand up better and hold all the, it won't tip over that much.
So it has to have a strong base.
And a big one, because if you don't want it to fall over.
Yeah, and he also learned about, there was a little research project where he got to go learn about different kinds of engineers and do a little bit of a research project on his own interests. So you looked up, what kind of engineer did you look up?
I looked up game engineers.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I helped him with that. Obviously, if you have older kids, they can go and do some of these little side research projects and different things by themselves. But so far, it's been a really good experience. Do you like it? Do you like the courses?
Yeah, they're really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited about doing the next ones?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. So I hope that helps just give you a little bit of an idea. I was so pleased that he really took an interest in it and just took off with it. And it's definitely been something I wouldn't have looked for. I wouldn't have looked for this kind of course, but we are very happy to be able to have a course where he can do, hands-on challenges and projects and learn these engineering challenges in a way that we can do that in our own home. So, as homeschoolers, having that flexibility is really important. Okay, so please feel free to ask any questions. If I can't answer them for you, I will, get the answer for you. And I will leave comments that give all the links and the information about this that I'm talking about. So if I don't catch the questions now, I'll catch them later. So right now I'm going to switch over and show you what Innovators Tribe looks like inside. So right now we are signed up for these 2 courses, the Thinking Like an Engineer and Thinking Like an Architect. And then you can see the little bonus one over here, which you get right now through August if you purchase one of the courses. And then, like I said, there's a 3rd course called robotics, and we haven't signed up for that one yet, but we will. Okay, so when you go to the course, you just say resume course. I'm going to get this kind of set up for you guys so you can see what it would look like right when you're starting. Okay, so this is what the module basically looks like. You have the Thinking Like an Engineer course, and it shows the units up here and the achievements and progress, so you can see how they're doing, if you want to come check in on your more independent kids and see how they're doing. This is a discussion area, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So on the left here, you can see that the Thinking Like an Engineer course involves 5 units and then a closing course or a closing lesson. So it includes Introduction to Engineering, Introduction to 3D Design, which is where you would use the free tool that they give you, the Engineering Roller Coasters, Engineering Bridges, Nano Engineering, and then Thinking Like an Engineer Conclusion. So we're still in the middle of, or I guess we're toward the end, we're doing the last lesson or 2 on Unit 1. So at the top, you'll see you can download the course syllabus and materials list here. So it makes it really easy for planning. So right when we start the unit or the course, it gives you all that you need. And the materials so far, there hasn't been a whole lot that I've needed to purchase. Most of it we have around the house, which is also really helpful. But the materials so far that we've needed to purchase have been pretty cheap, so it hasn't been a problem. Then it has a little video on the first day of class. Some of them you click on it, when you go to it, it'll say click here to view this lesson. You click on it and it opens a new window and you'd watch the lesson there and then come back here when you're done. Here is the intro video that just tells you a little bit about the course. If you can see right here, it says to begin, click here to download and print the unit journal, which we did. So we printed and downloaded that so that Jaron, basically as it goes through each lesson, he can write down what he's learning and some comprehension questions. And it's just a really good way for me to make sure he's actually learning the concepts that are being taught. So that's been handy. He just puts it in his binder with all of his other work in a separate section. And then every day when he does his engineering course, he pulls that out and fills those things out as he goes. So each lesson, if you look here on the left, you'll see lesson 1, then a challenge activity, then a challenge review, and time to connect. Most of them follow that basic pattern. Not all of them have the challenge review, but most of them follow that basic pattern where you have the lesson, the challenge, and then a connect or a review of some kind. So I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully this pops up. Yep. Okay, so if I click on lesson 1, it'll pop up with this new window. So this is lesson 1, and it basically goes through sort of a slide format, and then there are pieces that have pre-recorded videos on them as well. So here, it'll tell you at the bottom, this will take about 10 minutes. Some of them take about 30 minutes for the lesson itself. And then here,
hi everybody.
Let's begin this that's the creator. So you can pause it and rewind it and mute it and all of those things. And you can see the creator up here. He'll talk to you about the different ideas, and he'll walk them through the different lessons and teach them the concepts that they're supposed to be learning. You can scroll, you can search it, you can scroll down to each piece of the lesson here on the ends here, or you see what I'm talking about, this little field, this view over here where you can scroll down and skip around. So that's really helpful for a review. There are times when he didn't catch an idea, so he comes back and he looks through those pieces to make sure that he got all the information. And then when he's done with that lesson, he just closes it. So he completed What's an Engineer lesson 1, and at the bottom right, it's kind of hard to see probably on the screen, but he just clicks next lesson and it will mark it as complete. You can see the circles over here, the green circles where we've marked as complete. We have a few more we need to mark still, but that is basically how that goes as far as navigation. And so he watches that lesson and then he goes to the challenge activity. So this is the challenge activity for lesson 1, and it's similar. It walks through some slides and some videos that teach him how to do the lesson. So really this is nice for kids, grades 5 through 9. Most of it's pretty independent, which is nice. So the challenge in this case was that in lesson 1 was they were going to do that tower that he mentioned, the paper tower. So it will give them this video. Here's the tower challenge. So the creator comes up and he talks about the challenge. He gives them some talking points. In this case, he showed them a real life tower and how it was built. And so then he gives them their challenge. And in this case, they got 4 pieces of paper and I think a foot of masking tape, and they had to build a tower that was 5 feet tall. And then when they're done, it goes to challenge review. So in challenge review, it gives some pictures of other kids and how they did it. If they are struggling, it will say, don't give up. And in this case, we pulled in some of our Bible topics on perseverance and, being diligent. And, because we did have a few tears when things didn't go right the first or second or third time, but we just kept saying, okay, what did you learn? What worked? What didn't? What can we change? What can we try? And he did it. He was able to persevere and he felt really good about his accomplishment. So that in itself, that lesson in itself was gold, let alone the other lessons that came along with it. And then the time to connect, what this is about is at the end of each lesson, it will give them the opportunity to share with the community pictures of their finished challenge and some information about what worked and what didn't. So the way this works is you get to this piece and it gives you instructions basically. And what you do is you go up to this discussion area at the top left here, and it will show you what other discussions are going on, what other people have already started. But for us to basically check in and say, this is what we do. So here he might type, what worked and what didn't. Having a large base worked best, or whatever. And he filled in his description of it. And then he was able to add a photo of his creation here. And he just clicks. Siri's really messing with me right now. He just clicks on the image to put his photo in there of his tower, or they had one challenge where he had to take pieces of paper, or one piece of paper actually, and a certain amount of tape, and build a piece on the bottom of basically what they did was they built rings. So they built rings of paper using one piece of paper, and then they stacked as many books on top of it as they could to try to make it as strong of a base as possible. And that's the one where he and my husband spent like all day working on that and, trying to rework it and top themselves. It was really great. So they add pictures here about it. And what's really cool about this, and of course you may not want to put pictures of your kids in it, but you can just put pictures of the finished challenge. What's really cool about this is that they also go through, they're encouraged to go through and look up somebody else's project and comment or encourage them. And then they're also told, after they finish that, later on when he uploaded his photo and put in what he learned and what worked and what didn't, a couple days later, we got a reply back, and the creator of the program actually went in and saw his finished project and encouraged him and sent him an email. And that was really cool for him to see that, just to see that interaction, that positive reinforcement from the course director. So anyway, that's basically how the courses work. Like I said, there are 3 courses available right now. There's the Thinking Like an Engineer, Thinking Like an Architect, and their new robotics course. And right now, through the month of August, if you get any of these courses, you get them for 40% off, and you can get the extra bonuses, like the extra Thinking Like an Innovator mini course, which is usually $40. You get 3 years of support instead of 1, and you get the 3D program that you can use for your courses, and all sorts of fun things. So I will leave you all that information there. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I think the bottom line for me is that we were pleasantly surprised by how fascinated my kids were with this, how much they really learned, and this hands-on experience that we can do at home and taking these innovation and technology courses at home. So for us, it was a perfect opportunity for our homeschool. So I highly recommend them. We really enjoy them. And just go check out Innovator's Tribe and let me know if you have any questions, guys. Thanks.